Joining us on the show today, we have the fastest man in the Pacific, one of PNG's biggest and brightest athletes, Pius Wasil. Welcome to the show, Pius.
Thank you so much for inviting me to here, and I'm so happy to be part of you guys too. I'm so excited for it.
We're so excited to have you on the show and we get to talk and unfold your story. Let's go all the way back to the beginning in the Jiwaka province where you grew up. Tell us about what your childhood was like growing up in PNG.
I mostly grew up in a rural area and I love to live there. And then my parents were do farming. I love to help them with farming and then go fishing with my friends and play with them. And I really enjoy it and it's free from the rural area. And I so happy to be grown up there. And then in my village, like some of the things that the activities I used to do, like people used to admire and like, Pius, you do everything. It's like so fast and quick and they used to encourage me and stuff like this. And I said, yeah, that's the way that I play or I do anything. It's like they admired me and then I really enjoyed and grew up in rural area.
Well, Pius, it sounds like you had a dream upbringing as a child living in a rural area. When did you realise that you weren't just good at running, you were great at running and it wasn't just a hobby, it was something that you could take professionally?
For me, like growing up in a rural and then didn't know better idea about athletics, so I was in a primary school and then there was school carnival and then that's where I started to run and then from there we got like a certain race in between in like our provinces in Goroka and even though in Lesu we call it like Islands Mumase and so that's why I've been competing there but not consistency with the training and stuff like this. So people, they know I've got a potential on it and then they just give me encouragement and said like, Pius, you have a potential and you have to run.
Who were some of those people that helped you along the journey and identified you and said, hey, if you do this, this and this, you could potentially be now the fastest man in the Pacific?
That's where some of the people they behind me to help me is like some of the primary school teachers and my local coaches, Joe Kilip and Grace Kua and some others. They were behind me and they knew that I have a potential. So they said, Pius, you have to run. And then they used to help me whatever they can, buy me a drinks and then Pius, and then buy me like running gears, and then they said you need to run, and then they encouraged me, and then from there it's helped me a lot too.
You were scouted in the National Sports Institute in Goroka. That would have been a real turning point in your life. What was that experience like, having that those talent scouts see something in you and want to pick you up and give you more opportunity?
Yeah, that's in 2018. That's the time when I started to know more about athletics, and then that's the time when my sister, she has been live here in Australia for like some years ago, and then she got a scholarship and she decided to go back to PNG and then stay there. And then she thinking to help me, and then that's why she moved to Goroka and she lived there. And then she said like, oh, Pius, you need to come and stay with me and then train. And then from there, I was so excited. And then, I just left Jiwaka and then come to Goroka and stay with her. And then I trained with her. From that time, I started to know more about athletics. And then she taught me like some of the techniques and all those stuff, go to the gym. And then in Goroka, I could say like all the sports facilities is there. So gym and everything is there. So I've been start training from there, and then that's where my turning point is. The director, she saw me, and then she asked me like, Pius, what happened to you? You didn't go to Kimberley? And I said, oh, no, there's no funding for our government. And she just went to the office, and then she sent one of the staff down to pick me and to tell me that, Pius, you need to come to the office. And then I thought like, oh, what am I do wrong? I just a bit kind of nervous, and I went to the office, and then she said like, Pius, I will buy your ticket and then you will go with Samu to Kimbe, and then I say, Lord, is it real?
Wow.
Yeah, that's where they organized everything for my flight and then back and forth. And then I went to Kimbe, and then my first time to run in oven. I used to run in under 18 and under 16. I said to myself, now I'm getting ready, so I will run in open. And then that's where I get a confidence, and I ran. Then I ran my PB like 10:84, and then I said, is it real? Then I
Wow,
was
10:84.
10:84.
How old were you?
That's when I was 20, I think.
20. Wow.
Yeah.
10:84.
1084, that's
Amazing.
impressive. That's very impressive.
That's when I turned 20, and then after that, we came back to NSI, and then they come up with the idea to form ADP program. They got me there, and then they said like, "Oh, Pius, we come up with that program, and then you are the best person. We're gonna pick you up. It's like a scholarship." They said, we're going to pay for your schools and even your accommodation and everything, and we're going to give a little bit of allowance, and then they got me there.
Well, you mentioned your sister, Toya. She's an amazing athlete, and she's won plenty of gold as well at the Pacific Games and other gold medals. But how much of an influence has she been on yourself and your journey to where you are now?
Oh, she inspired me a lot. Like, I just had a back of my mind. I know that like, one day I might be like her, and then, but to be like there, I said to myself, I need to work it out, and then that's why I train hard from the side, and then yeah.
And part of your hard training has brought you over to Australia. So you moved over here in 2024, and that was to train under Alison and Tony Fairweather. How has their influence been and their training been compared to what you experienced back in PNG?
Like, back in PNG, we got a good coach, but some of the training, the way we used to train is different from here. And then like 2024, after the Pacific game in Solomon, my sister decided to bring me down and just come and stay with her. That's the time where she talked to my federation, and then they fly me down to Australia, and then she made a connection with Alison and Tony Fairweather, and then they also knew my potential, so they got me, and then I started to learning new things the way I haven't experienced it, and then Alison and Tony, they're so good to me, and then like they find the right people in my squad, and then I got a great training squad.
And what about as well, like some of the sacrifices that you've had to make along the way, moving, and what were some of the other challenges that you had to face?
It's true about my finances support and all those stuff. I face a lot, but I really appreciate for my training squad that I train with. Like they help me. They help me a lot. That's why through Alison and Tony, they found the right people in my squad to help me and to build me where I am right now.
Yeah. Just on that, with those challenges, because there's so many Pacifica athletes that move so far away from home to Australia for some opportunity, right? And it's very common that you face the same challenges. It's financial challenges. It's trying to find your community. It sounds like Alison and Tony have given you such a wonderful community.
It is.
How have you've also got to take some credit for yourself though as well. You managed to get yourself out of those struggles and challenges. How did you approach that? What were some of the mental strategies, I guess, that you were able to use to be able to stay strong and get yourself to where you are?
I have to trust God, and then coaches and squad support, and they believed in me. I just ready to walk away, but my squad, they said no to.
How much does faith play a big part in your preparation? Trusting in God's plan and God's timing, like how much does that help you prepare for your races?
Faith in God it's really big. It's helped me a lot. I've seen His hands along the way, because with Him everything is possible. So it's helped me, and then I put my faith in Him, and then He used people to help me. And then I see His hands like, oh, instead of you coming in your way, but you just come through your people to help me, and then I knew, and then I have strong faith in it.
Well, some of your success very recently led you to break a 30-year-old PNG record at a state track and field championships. What was that experience like for you to know that the record was decades and decades old, older than you yourself, Pius? You've broken that record because of all of the hard work and dedication and training that you've put in, and you're still reaching your potential.
In March was the time where I started to pick my form, and then I've been in a good form. So I've been working out with my coaches, and then that's where I started to pick the form. And then, like me and my coaches, we work very hard. I just want to qualify to go to World Indoors. I just want to try the 100 meters in Queensland. So that's why coach said, just run and see. And then, I just broke a national record, and I didn't expect that. And I'm like, is it real? I was so happy for that, and then it's a kind of a feeling that just came into me, and then I just thank God. And then, but before that, the World Indoors has also been the 60 meters. It's been there, and then I've been running well. And then I've been qualified for that, but not in a universal selection. I've been qualified in a world ranking. And there's an history to PNG for me to not get a universal card, but I just been qualified in the world ranking. And then I went to World Indoors, and I made it to semis. And then my semis, I ran, but I didn't run my best. But the big thing is I made it to the semi-final. That's the biggest dream. And also, I think me and my sister only in PNG, we made it to the world stage to qualify in a world standard in PNG.
That's amazing, you having a world ranking and qualifying in the world standings. How does that make you feel? And what is your message to younger athletes from PNG that are just as talented as what you were when you were young, that want to follow the same dream and become the next Pius? What is your message? Because I can imagine there would be so much young talent in PNG. There should be more names in the world rankings from PNG, right? What is your message to those young athletes?
They have to humble themselves and then respect their parents and put God first, and then dream big and work hard and then work hard and then be respect to everybody, and then you will see the outcome of it.
Simple key messages in that.
Beautiful message,
isn't there? And you recently raced at the Palau Pacific Mini Games. I was fortunate enough to be in the stands to watch one of your heats for the 100 metres, and the support that you had. And I was sitting amongst the PNG athletes, cheering your name, cheering Team PNG. Like, what does it mean to you to be able to represent PNG and represent your family and be on that top of stage and winning medals as well?
It means a lot to me. I just want to do my best to make my country proud, and even though my family too proud. That's where I work for it, and then I won the medal, and then I want to make my country always proud, and even though my family too.
Well, you're doing a very good job at that at the moment, Pius. What's next for you? What is your big dream? What's something that you haven't achieved yet that you're working towards?
My big dreams is to run the Oceania Cup, Commonwealth Games, Oceania Championships, and 2027 World Champs, and 2028 Olympic Games.
Yeah. Well, you've got a very busy calendar ahead over the next few years, no doubt. Yeah. But we will be supporting you all the way. Thank you so much for your time joining us on the show.